Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. You can do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman for some fantastic beard products that'll make your beard look and smell great. You can also go to TCG Player using the affiliate link below and shop there to help support the show. And last but absolutely not least, go to greyvikinggames.com with the link below to get those sweet arena codes. What is up, Planeswalkers? Theric6 back with some more Magic the Gathering. Today we're playing Death and Taxes, but it's standard. Standard best of 3 Death and Taxes. I was informed by Query and a few others that a lot of the pieces that I'm playing in Historic Death and Taxes are standard legal. So I might as well give it another roll. We got a single Chaplain of Alms. Reason we only have a single one of these is because, yes, it is great when you can disturb it and flash it back, and it does have First Strike on the front end, which works really nicely with Thalia. But I wanted to try out the much newer card. By much newer, I mean literally one set. But still, the newer card, Hopeful Initiate. This is a 1-mana 1/2 training that I wasn't super high on in any deck other than counters, so we'll kind of see if I eat my words here. It allows you to make it a little bit bigger, but also you can remove counters and destroy an artifact or enchantment. We still have things like the Rangers class running around, so there are definitely things that we can target. Whether or not we'll need to is an entirely other situation. We got 3 Fateful Absence. This allows us to instant speed destroy a creature planeswalker. Sure, they get to investigate. However, our plan, we essentially yeet them off that tempo. We play another like 2-drop creature, and then we continue beating down their face as they're unable to recover. We have 3 Intrepid Adversaries. This card is just fantastic. I've loved it in the mono-white version of Death and Taxes in Historic, because it really quickly allows you to just kill your opponent out of nowhere. If you have a even small to medium board, playing this and punching it once or twice means that your opponent very likely is going to die. It also has lifelink, which is going to be fantastic to help us against the aggressive decks. And other than that, like, we can just cast it as a 2-mana 3/1 against the control decks where we just need that power early on. For Luminarch Aspirant, this card is dumb nuts. It's like real good. It just makes it scales. It makes all of our stuff bigger. It's great. It's just great. For Thalia, Garden of Thraben, First Strike makes non-creature spells cost more. It's like the pillar. The reason we can play Death and Taxes in Standard now is because of Thalia, essentially. We got 2 Archon of Emeria. Only 2 because I think in Historic there's a few more decks that like to be playing multiple cards on a single turn. But what's nice is that if our opponent is playing some non-basics, they're still going to be a little frustrated. 3 Elite Spellbinders. It has Evasion, which is fantastic for just doming our opponent, and we get to just choose the one card that we don't want to see and yeet it out of their hand for a while. It's quite nice. 3 Reidane/Valkmira. Reidane, obviously quite nice against any other snow decks. We are running a snow package just because I really like Faceless Haven as the creature of choice in a deck like this. But it also forces your control opponents to cast things for even higher. Going Thalia into Reidane is nuts, turning a 4-mana planeswalker or board wipe into something that costs them, 7 mana? So yeah, which is just nuts. Imagine also including the Elite Spellbinder tax on that. Now up to 9 mana for a 4-drop. It gets delicious. Valkmira can also help us against if our opponent is playing just nothing but targeted removal, and they don't have a ton of mana, or the more likely case, our opponent is playing a very low-to-the-ground aggressive deck, either mono-red or mono-white. And then we're looking at 3 Welcoming Vampires. This card definitely impressed me when I was playing Death and Taxes on stream recently. This card draws you cards. It draws you cards. Even if it's just 1 per turn, it's fantastic. Having 2 of these on the board means that you get one of your creatures into play. You're living life. And Death and Taxes is like 2 big weaknesses: huge creatures and running out of gas, and this card helps you keep the gas. 2 Adeline. I said it before and I'll say it again. I love Army in a Box cards. Adeline on her own can just keep giving you more and more of this power. And what's nice is that as she grows your board, she grows her own power. She has Vigilance, so she can block as well. It's quite nice. You can play her and immediately get the benefit from your attacking, because she doesn't have to attack if you don't want her to. As long as you attack with something, you'll be able to get that human. 3 Skyclave Apparition. Hey, it's removal, and we do like some removal especially when it's creatures. We have 1 Cemetery Protector here. I just wanted to try this card out. I just felt like I couldn't fit it anywhere in my Historic version, so I've decided to give it a try here. It's only as a 1-of, but The idea here is like it is a 4-mana 3/4 that has flash, so we can potentially surprise something, surprise block something. We can get like exile value here, and then if we're able to, you know, kind of just get random extra value from honestly probably casting creatures, that will likely be nice. 1 Legion Angel in the main deck and 3 in the side allows us to kind of maintain some card advantage as well, if we're going against a controller grindy mid-range deck. Then we got 20 Snow-Covered Plains and 3 Faceless Haven. We technically don't have any human tribal stuff because I knew for a fact I needed this. I knew for a fact I needed this and this. Technically didn't know for a fact I needed this, but I didn't want to deal with human tribal stuff. I wanted to just go kind of hard death and taxes. In the sideboard, we got 2 Sungold Sentinels, good against the graveyard strategies. 2 Guardian of Faith against decks that really like to blow the world up. Are the aforementioned Legion Angels. 3 Curse of Silence. Someone suggested that I play Curse of Silence because I essentially have not played it in Historic, because I don't like it as much, but it's possible that with Standard having a smaller card pool, it'll be a lot easier to predict the cards that I assume my opponents are going to have. 2 Paladin Class against instant speed style decks, and then of course 3 Portable Holes against decks where I need a bit more low to the ground removal. Traditional Standard ranked, man, have not touched this in quite some time. Get a sip of my apple juice. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's so good. Nelson. Ha ha. Play first, thank you. Thanks. Not having a 2-drop is pretty bad, especially in a deck where you have a lot of 2-drops. I'm going first, and I can potentially get a lot of 2-drops. I'll keep it. I don't like the idea of mulliganing a hand like this. No, they didn't shift the board over. It's still slightly off-center. It does look less off-center than it was previously, but... Oh, hey, look. Do we want to just cast this? I mean, they probably just have, little shocky half-land. Red-blue. Foretell, obviously. Let's see. I think I'm gonna... I was gonna say I'll play Archon. Then next one I can Welcoming Vampire, Hopeful Initiate. But I couldn't do that if I play Archon. I do want to play Archon. Yeah, I'll play Archon. I should have played Faceless Haven this turn, actually. Would have allowed me to attack with Haven. This could be Saw It Coming. It honestly could be a number of things. Crush the Weak, maybe. Thunder Rebuke. Rude. Now they can play their... Okay. That's fine, I guess. Alright, so let's go ahead and play the Welcoming Vampire. And then the Initiate. Demon Bolt, of course. I kind of needed that. But, oh well, I guess. Switch of Iteration. I mean, if they're... Hopefully they'll be struggling on lands a bit. So yeah, we definitely want... like, Paladin Class here. Another Hopeful Initiate. I could, if I wanted to, play Adversary. So if I play Adversary and punch it once... Can attack in for 2 this turn. Next turn I wouldn't have to add to the board. I could just attack with these, train this up a little. I think that's fine. We punch the Adversary once, and we smork in. Why am I saying punch? Well, it's very similar to Multi-Kicker, except it's not on cast, it's on ETB, so I call it Multi-Puncher. I'm not very original. Battle of Frost. It's my ass. Let's see. I don't really want to take a turn off of having cards. But it's possible that next turn I should just play Valkmira. Yes. 3 to the bottom. I mean, that's good, I guess. Guardian of Faith, likely quite nice. Paladin Class, also quite nice. Curse of Skrylance I can have in there. Interesting, so we have a Cemetery Protector. Doesn't actually protect me from anything. But we will go ahead and just attack here. They take 6. Go ahead and attempt to play Valkmira. I could have just held up Cemetery Protector. This seems like a Auron's Epiphany deck. Hate those. Hate them so much. See what they do. Oh, that's fun. Two, 4, 7. Spike those guys. I'm just gonna try and kill them with Faceless Haven. Fateful Absence, something of theirs. I'm fairly certain they're just digging for Epiphany. One of the reasons why I still hate Standard. Extra turn spells are annoying as hell. Man, I wonder if this is Epiphany. Alright, let's bring in some Paladin Class. Let's bring in some Guardian of Faith. And Curse of Silence, sure. Let's see how that goes. Don't think I need Protector here. It is a flash threat, but again, don't think I need it. Skyclave Apparition essentially can exile nothing of what I saw. So we'll go ahead and cut that. We have 3 cards to cut. Chaplain of Alms. Meh. Let's see. I also didn't see any reason to keep Fateful Absence. Possible that they just didn't get the dragons this time, but I think I'm actually going to maintain my Chaplain to increase the chances of me kind of coming down, hitting my opponents faster, harder, stronger, better. Play first. This hand is not as bad because we do have Luminarch Aspirant's potential. The main issue is if they play red source untapped and pass. Fantastic. Then they could have hazarded me. What is up with these lands? I'm only running 23. Well, I will go to my attack. Double attack. Cool. I will cast Welcoming Vampire. Iteration's fine. Next time I play Archon, I get to draw a card. Wakefield Hazard, they play as their land. Lear. Interesting. I drew another land, my god. I've drawn only lands so far. Oh, this is actually helpful. Oh, right, I can't actually cast it because of Archon. Good. I would like to get my Aspirant out of Demon Bolt range. But I think for now, it's a little bit safer for me to spread the love. Down to 11, quite good for me. I need to not draw any more lands. Only 32.7% chance of doing that. Good. They Demon Bolt that instead. Cool. I'm going to continue playing lands. Cast this. Gonna make this a 5-power creature, I think. Stops it from getting Demon Bolted. They're down to 4. It also protects him from the Saga. So we saw Lear. Yeah, that's kind of all we saw that game. So, do I want to make any modifications? No. I don't think so. Alright, let's see if we can win going second. I can, if I get a good hand and I don't draw nothing but land. Thalia is a critical piece. And of course, the cat is upset that I'm recording. You're okay. Good catch him. There we go. This hand's fine. Paladin Class into Curse of Silence. Into Archon. Seems decent. What do I Paladin Class? Oh, I also get to play Chaplain of Alms. That's quite nice. So I could Paladin Class something like Thundering Rebuke. I actually like the idea of Paladin classing, gosh, where is it? Expressive Iteration. This could be Behold the Multiverse. It could also be an early Epiphany. It could be a Demon Bolt. I think I'm going to name... Yeah, I think I'm going to name Expressive Iteration. Okay. And then we'll play Chaplain. Nice little hexproof dude. I might even just buff the Paladin class. Not entirely sure. Let's see, is that what I want to do? I think it is. Even if I don't get through for damage here, I think the fact that it buffs my creatures by 1 just innately is quite nice at dodging some other move. It looks like it is Demon Bolt. They're choosing to save it. Makes sense. It would have cost them only 3. Guardian of Faith. It's quite nice to see. I'm likely just going to flash that in, to be honest. Getting a little damage through. Blue-red not exactly known for being able to deal with enchantments. Is it worth casting this? I think so. They counter, do anything to disrupt it. I think that's reasonable. Sure. I do like this. Let's go attack here. This would be a 5/4. Unfortunately, it would still die to Battle of Frost and Fire. I don't want to set up Valkyria here. As long as this resolves, it's as if I'm not playing a card. Unfortunately, well, it doesn't resolve. But what do they learn for? Exhibition, sure. This would make their own Frost and Fire a bit worse, so they might want to deploy that sooner rather than later. Leer, okay. This is a pickle. Should be 4 power. I can return a permanent as well. Can't hit these, luckily. They just get to Demon Bolt this. I guess this at least... I'll do this. It walks into a... Battle of Frost and Fire, but that would hit their Leer as well. This way they're kind of forced to deal with the Archon. Okay, they can't cast any more spells this turn, that's nice. I guess they could divide by 0 my Archon on my turn. Can't cast another spell. Have to deal with Archon first. Ah, they can't divide by 0 me right now, so that's quite nice. They willingly went down to 6. I think I'm going to cast Thalia. Could be wrong, but... Again, I have access to Faceless Havens. I think an Epiphany would be the worst. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They don't have the mana for Epiphany. Because of Thalia, they don't have the mana currently for Exhibition either. They rebuke that, costs 3. Totally fine. Damn. They can't attack, though. Oh, excuse me. I can Curse of Silence, Mascot Exhibition. Could also do Epiphany, but I know an Exhibition's in their hands. I don't know that anything else is. So while they're tapped, I could just attack with Haven. Because that just kills this. Could bring the Chaplain back. I think I'm just going to attack with Haven. Could be incorrect, but they decide to go to 1. Okay. Not like I have any reach in this deck. White not exactly known for its reach. Not the mechanic. The ability to deal small amounts of damage to close out the game. Interesting. Very interesting. So they have access to this. Let's go ahead and cast Chaplain. No. Yes, no. Let's... If I cast Legion Angel, they put it back in my hand. I wouldn't be able to double cast anything anyway. I think I'm forced to do it. Divide by 0. Who would have thought? I've somehow seen more cards than they have. Ah, of course, they learned, that's why. That's interesting. See, now I get to do a Spellbinder. Sinnerclasm wouldn't be able to kill my Faceless Haven anyway. I see. So it will be 4. I'd be able to do that regardless. Well, I still think I forced them to do it. They have to, or else they die. Yep. Scry to the bottom. They have this, but they have Cinderclasm. Definitely having difficulty ending the game. They could Thunder Rebuke that, yep. Issue here is that they have access to Hall of Storm Giants. I'm gonna name Thunder Rebuke here, I think. Fading Hope can be annoying as a bounce spell, but I think Rebuke... God. Fading Hope, my angel, most likely. Nah, they Windfall, of course. They could just do it again. This is definitely frustrating. Another reason I just dislike Standard generally. Fading Hope, whoop-de-doo. I feel like I don't get as many games in Historic where the game is fundamentally over, but there's not there's still a slim chance. Did you finally get one of your... Oh, thanks for the card draw. Is this not all creatures? Why is it a good game? My assumption is that my opponent has access to an Epiphany. Yep. Nope. It's an additional Mascots Expedition, I guess. As usual, I'll say it. Don't good game unless you're losing. Unfortunate. Don't know if we just had some unluckiness or if the deck is just trash. I'm leaning towards the latter. And honestly, I don't think it's the deck necessarily. I think it's the metagame. I think that Historic is just a format more conducive to the tricks of the trade that Death and Taxes employs. Unfortunately, I don't have time to record a second match. Stupid Izzet control took too damn long. I mean, this, so you'll notice, right, I mean, the sideboard is pretty different, but you'll notice when it comes to the main deck, actually, I'm not sure I have a mono-white Death and Taxes list on right now, because I delete my decks relatively frequently. Yeah, but we do have a white-green version, and the white-green version is mostly just white with Collected Company, because Company is a broken card. But you notice, like, I'm still sharing a lot of the same cards. Obviously, there's some differences. Captain, these cards are huge. And then, of course, Collected Copies of Broken card, but even the mono-white version. The things that are happening historic are, because they're technically more degenerate, Death and Taxes will have an easier time exploiting the degeneracy. And it'll essentially affect those decks more than it could in a standard. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. I was asked by viewers to create and play some standard Death and Taxes. This is how it went. If you would like to see me play any other specific standard decks, I'm open to it. I don't really brew in standard because I'm not very knowledgeable on the format ethos, I'll say. I do have some other standard things based on the reception of the budget and boon, or what is it, budget and boosted. The budget and boosted video, based on the reception of that, I don't think I'll do a budget and boosted of the rest of the things. I'll just play the deck, the actual, like, boosted deck, and I just won't call it anything. For those who are newer players and they still would like to see the budget builds, I will include a link to those deck lists in the deck list of those videos, and I'll mention it. But, yeah, I mean, that's how things goes. We have an interesting version of Bolus that we'll see soon, and then a couple of other historic decks. But yeah, if you have any decks that you would like to see me play in standard specifically, please let me know. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links down in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, all will be one.